Well, everybody's super excited to see a Will It Run video on the 49 Coronet here. We're not quite to that point yet, but I do have cylinders soaking in all the good stuff. Right now, I put the head back on it and the trash bag just to keep any water out of there. So that'll be working its magic, and hopefully by, I don't know, late August, early September, we can get around to doing a Will It Run on this, because I should have a gasket kit for the engine by then, rebuild kit for the carburetor, and anything else I might need. In the meantime, I cleaned this up a little bit last night. This side, I ran out of SOS pads, but from this side of the grill over, you can see all of the chalk is off the paint, and you can actually tell it's turquoise now. It's kind of nice. Well, I mean, the whole car is really nice, but the paint came back better than I was expecting, actually, and this is with no product on it yet, so I think it's going to look pretty good. I need to go back and do the same thing with the Belvedere here, because somebody sprayed primer over the roof and part of the sail panel and everything, and I don't see why you would have done that, so I'm going to just try to get it all back to blue. What we're going to be doing today is digging through the car to see what treasures are hiding in here, what pieces I have, what I'll need to buy, and yeah, maybe we'll find some cool stuff. We'll start off with a fun one. I was working on getting all the water out of the cylinders and re-oiling everything, and I looked over. There's just a fucking knife in the hood hinge there, fun side out. So I suppose if you're working on the old Dodge, somebody shows up in the yard that you weren't expecting, you're ready. And we'll just work from the front of the car back. I know most of the goodies are in the trunk, so I'm going to need to make you wait a little bit. But there's a couple oddities up here, like I know Brian over at Dirt Road Derelicts will like this one. If collecting old cans is your thing, he recently put up a video showcasing his collection and cleaning a few of them up, so check that out. So out of just the front seat, we have the before mentioned can, we have the rock guard piece for the rear fender, we have the rocker molding for the passenger side of the car, one wiper blade, about ready for a refill, just maybe. A belt, you need those, not sure what this is to yet, dipstick, and 3 sections of the brand new floor pan that came with the car. And I'll give you a look at the front now that's cleaned out. You can see why it came with new floor pans now. This was all covered up with the new floor pans, and I've seen worse. It's fixable. What's really cool, and I'm hoping the camera's going to focus, is there's signatures on the inside of the glove box here. And I'm going to need to look into who these people may be. If they were the original owners of the car, that would be pretty cool. I got that stained white sheet off of the front seat here, and for being almost 80 years old, it's not in terrible shape. I'm not sure what this material is that it's made up of. It reminds me of like horsehair or something. And yeah, pretty much same story on the floor on this side here. You can see the master cylinder right there. Nothing special, but less junk in the way. You can kind of see what you're working with now. And from the back seat, we have the badass sun visor, courtesy of Brian, via a friend of his. And we have 2 more floor pans for the car, rear left, rear right. Now the rear pans that are actually in the car aren't that bad at all. I think these are savable, bad light, but they're not in terrible shape, so I'll probably just clean those up for now and treat them. The fronts do need replaced though, so we'll use those since they're here and they're pretty much free. I mean, they came with the car. I was watching another YouTube video the other night, and this little step here is for the passenger sitting in the back of the car. Ergonomically, I guess it's more comfortable having your feet up on a little bit of an incline like that, so that's why that was there. I thought it was just a pedestal to raise the front seat, but there was a reason for it. And now it's time for all the goodies in here. Gonna find some neat items, I hope. A little close to the edge of the yard here. That'll happen when you have no brakes and you're just pushing the car into place. The fireweed will stop it. Right off the bat, we have an old copper head gasket that, in a bind, you could probably straighten this out and reuse it. I think I'll just opt to buy another one for the time being, and we'll hang that one up in the trees. Just when I thought things were winding down in the trunk here, flip this mat over. More goodies. Okay, so this is what the trunk looks like, all emptied out. A little rough for wear, but there's enough trunk there that we can make it work. And, you know, I might care about this car enough that I actually buy a trunk pan for this as well. But it's not terrible considering, again, it's almost 80 years old. Also, this Dodge emblem on the trunk here, little beat up, looks like the Caterpillar logo. Now, let's go back over to the trailer. I have some cool things to show you. So first, we have what I believe to be the original floor mat for the front of the car. If it is original, it's held up phenomenally over the years. If it hadn't been all rolled up in the trunk, probably would have been in even better condition. I still think it's salvageable, though. I'll keep it around. Usually I just throw these away. Like the Belvedere there had all rubber flooring in it, but it was all toast, so I just threw it away. This one is worth hanging on to for the time being. Then over here we have the oil bath air breather for the car. We have the wires, the separator, the cap, the coil, some various little linkage bits and whatnot. You know it's good when it's in a coffee can. Folgers usually has the best stuff, but not terrible. Now over here we have all 6 spark plugs. Something to note is none of them were broken off in the head, which is cool. Secondly, he labeled each one of them. So, tedious, pretty neat. You know, somebody went to the effort of actually doing that, which is cool. Radiator cap, the little breather deal for the oil fill. I don't know what these are for just yet. They're threaded on one end. I have a feeling they would be braces for fenders or something. I'll need to look at that later. We have a battery box, which I was telling Austin, if you're a Mopar guy, if you have a battery box, it's like you won the lottery. Then we have one piece of trim for the, I think, passenger side doors, how that would line up right. And it's a little bent, but I think that's salvageable. I didn't find the other one. We're missing 2 pieces of trim. That's not terrible considering. I think this is an old screw-on oil filter situation. I don't have much experience with the super old stuff like this. I deal in the 60s and 70s more than the 30s and 40s. So here we have the piece that kind of helps hold in the radiator. It also holds the horns in. What a nice pair of honkers that is. We have a pair of Alaska plates, 61. And I said this in the other video, but I had never messed with plates this old personally before. I didn't know it was a metal tab that you put in here rather than a sticker. And you can see on the back, these were originally 60 plates. So these weren't used all that long. I'm not sure if they're for the Coronet or not. And we have the fan down this way. I am not sure. Probably just another belt of some sort. Some grounding straps and whatnot. Not sure what these are pieces of. It might be like package tray related. What's left of that, I'm not sure. We have a radiator that's in phenomenal condition. Who knows if it holds water, but looking at it, I've seen a lot worse actually hold water, so... Oh yeah, I bet you that's going to be fine. Couple older jacks. And here we have the 2 things I'm most excited about because I'm kind of on a carburetor kick. I want to learn how to rebuild them and actually have them be functional. This one here is, I saw it, yes. So it is off of a Volkswagen of some kind. If it was the old air-cooled Beetles, that would be kind of cool. It is a little worse for wear, but I'll still tear it apart and see if there's anything usable here. If nothing else, will look cool on the shelf. And then this one is a Stromberg. Now, I can't remember if those were used on like flathead Fords or what, but I recognize the name. This one is in much better condition. So, definitely a cool find. And then lastly, we have a super cool, I don't think it's the original spare tire, it's a little too aggressive, I would think. But super cool, era correct. I believe it was an Atlas. Yep, Atlas. And I think somebody said those were sold at Sears. So it's really cool. That'll be staying around. Okay, so I just looked at the car, and it also has a Stromberg. It doesn't have this little electrical connection here on the end. I'm not sure what that's for, so I'll probably just get a kit for what's in the car, and this one will be good for parts if nothing else. So that's going to do it for the archaeology portion of the project. It's pretty cool finding all this stuff and you know, like I said, you see what you need, you see what you have, and you can start piecing it together from there. It's also nice having the car cleaned out so you see what you're actually working with. Floorboards in the front, not so great. Floorboards in the back seat, great. Trunk is usable. And yeah, I think I'll just get a seat cover for the seat, and that'll be good for now. Got to continue cleaning this up when I have time and weather allows. We'll let the engine soak for a little bit, and then we will come back to this project later this month, early next month, and see if we can get it running and driving. That said, if you'd like to see updates on this project, please like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. The next long-form video you're going to see on the channel is going to be all about the flat charger, and I'll give you a little sneak peek of that right now. It is very close to being a functional car again. Just look at it. This is what success looks like. Need to button up just a few small things, and we should be able to hear this roar to life. And I say roar because it's going to have no exhaust, just open manifolds. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look forward to this in the very near future, and I will catch you in the next one.